Hello everyone, I hope your week is going well. Here is another update on my sweater. Finally, I feel like I'm moving towards the end of this project. The sleeves are now done. Only the side seams and the neckline and waistband ribbon need to be added. The sleeves were the biggest challenge of this project. For those of you who didn't see my previous videos, I'm participating at Crochet Along run by Holly on her channel Stitches Gonna Stitch. This Crochet Along is for my own pattern for a short sleeve summer top which I designed last summer. The written pattern is available in my Etsy and Ravelry shops, and I have a detailed tutorial on my channel. Now I decided to adjust this pattern and make a sweater. The yarn that I'm using is Alize Angora Gold, which is 80% acrylic and 20% wool. I'm a big fan of this budget yarn, and I have used it before for multiple projects. The sweater has been coming along well, but the biggest challenge was to make long sleeves, and I've been documenting and sharing the process in my videos. To be honest, somewhere on the back of my head, I did have this thought: what if I fail? What if long sleeves don't work out? What my viewers are going to think? And the sleeves indeed didn't work out at the first attempt. In my previous video, I shared how I stitched them to the front and back panels. For some reason, I was convinced it's going to be very difficult to stitch the sleeves directly to the panels. So I had an idea of making a row of single crochets along the edges of the front and back panels. I've done the same thing with some other crochet garments I have made, and it worked well for those garments, but it didn't work out for this particular sweater. I didn't like how thick and bulky the seam was, and the fabric of the sleeve was clearly too stretched in comparison to the fabric on the front and back panels. At first, I thought I'll rework that row of single crochets, distributing the single crochet stitches differently, but then I thought, why not try stitching the sleeve directly onto the panels and just see how it looks? So I did that, and what a surprise, it looked really good. The seam is neat and the fabric is not stretched. I don't know why I didn't start with it right away. For some reason, I decided to complicate things for myself. I thought I was doing the right thing, but in this particular case, it actually wasn't. But that's okay, because when you crochet garments, especially if you are doing it without a pattern, you need to be open to the idea of experimenting and trying different approaches. Like I said, making a row of single crochets along the edge of the front and back panels worked great for some other of my crochet garments, but it just didn't work out for this specific sweater. But failure is not really a failure, it's a learning experience. So I'd like to encourage you, my dear viewers, with my own example of this sweater, to approach challenges with a flexible and open mind. Don't give up, keep trying, and you'll figure it out. When stitching the sides together, when making that side seam, I greatly recommend using stitch markers and match each row together or every other row, because otherwise the panels might shift and you will end up with misaligned panels. Last night, I started working on the ribbon at the waistband of the sweater. I'm using the same hook size G 4.25 millimeters. That's the hook that I used for the body of the sweater. However, this ribbon looks somewhat loose to me. I would want it to be tighter, so I think I'm going to switch to a smaller size hook size D 3.25 millimeters. And work the ribbon, the waistband ribbon, with that hook. I think in this regard, a knitted ribbon is superior because a knitted ribbon, when stretched, bounces back very easily, but it's not so much with the crochet ribbon. And today I'm going to my crochet and knitting club meetup at my local library, and this is what I'm gonna work on during that meeting. I just came back from my crochet and knit meetup, and this is how much I got done. This ribbon looks much better. I worked it with the hook size D 3.25 millimeters. I thought that this week I'll be able to finish my sweater and show you the final result, but unfortunately no, there is still a bit of work to be done. But I hope that next week I'll be able to do it. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next video.